Welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, let us study about the general receiver model to analyze about the noise of the any given receiver system. So we are going to see a general receiver model. Receiver model for general communication system. Receiver model for general analog communication system. So how will be the receiver for the general analog communication system? So you have seen AM receiver, DSBC receiver, side SSB receiver, VSB receiver, FM receiver, many receivers we have seen. So what are the basic components present in a general analog communication receiver? It can be AM or FM or anything. What are the different components present in a receiver system? Let us see that. See, in the receiver block diagram, you have a S of T signal. This is what? This is your modulated signal. S of T is modulated signal. This modulated signal, we are interested in understanding about noise. So let us understand that this modulated signal is added with the noise. Okay, this modulated signal is getting added with the noise, and let me call this noise as especially additive white Gaussian noise. I have explained what is the meaning of additive white Gaussian noise in my previous video lecture. So we have taken, actually the noise will be present internally inside the channel, but I cannot show the internal noise, so that's why I am showing it like a model. Model means the approximate. For the incoming modulated signal, the noise is getting added. So the output will be corrupted noise, right? So this output will be containing S of T plus let me call the noise as W of T. So S of T plus W of T. Okay. So whatever the signal you have modulated and transmitted, that is added with the noise in the channel. Okay. And that channel is shown like a summation. Okay. Actually, there won't be any summation in the channel, but the effect, how the noise will get added up into the signal, because of that effect, I am approximately writing it as adder. Okay. Now that noisy corrupted modulated signal will be now sent to a band pass filter. Band pass filter. Why? Because all the modulated signals, AM or FM, DSBC, SSB, all the spectrums are a band pass signal. Okay, original message signal will be low pass signal. When you modulate using either AM, DSBC or SSB or FM, then the signal becomes band pass. So that is why I am representing a band pass filter. Okay, because the signal bandwidth is present in a middle frequency band. That's why it is represented as band pass filter. Then that band pass filter output is then given to demodulator. I am simply writing it as demodulator because I am not writing the receiver block diagram for any particular analog amplitude modulation or FM modulation. Then for particular amplitude modulation, demodulator becomes envelope detector, and for FM, this demodulator becomes either PLL or you can use a frequency discriminator. So, but I am not writing the receiver model for any of the particular modulation system. I am writing the receiver model for a general system. That's why I am simply writing demodulator. So this demodulator will be different for AM, FM, DSBSC, SSBSC and so on. Now what is the output of the demodulator? At the output of the band pass filter, let me call it as X of T. This X of T will be equal to S of T plus N of T. What is S of T? S of T is whatever the modulated signal what you have transmitted. Same thing will be there because the modulated signal is also band pass signal, and if you send the modulated signal S of T through band pass filter, it will be S of T only. because S of t is also band pass signal, and if you are sending band pass to a band pass filter, then you will get the same thing, S of t only at the output of band pass filter. But instead of writing W of t for noise, at the output of band pass filter I am writing it as N of t. Why? Because the noise before band pass filter, how does your additive white Gaussian noise spectrum look like? It looks like a like this. Okay, the amplitude is N0 by 2. This is your power spectral density in frequency domain for additive white Gaussian noise. For additive white Gaussian noise, the noise is present for all the frequencies. You have studied when you understood about white noise. The noise is present for all the frequencies. But this type of noise, which is present at all the frequencies, given as input to band pass filter. But band pass filter is allows only a particular band of frequencies. So now what happens to this noise? Noise which is present everywhere over all the frequencies will be filtered, and now the noise will be present only in the band region. If the band pass filter is from here to here, then the noise will be present only in this region. This is your noise N of t, whereas this is your noise W of t. Is there a change before band pass filter and after band pass filter? Before band pass filter, your noise is present everywhere, all the frequencies. But because of band pass filter, now the noise is present only for particular band of frequencies, and all other noises are rejected by the band pass filter. That is why here I am writing W of t and here I am writing N of t. N of t is the band pass filtered noise. Now this X of t, which is corrupted by noise, that is sent to demodulator, and your demodulator output, let me call it as Y of t, and this Y of t will be equal to the message signal MD of t. MD of t stands for message signal, demodulated message signal, plus noise. It contains noise also, so I am calling the noise as ND of t. And okay, some amount of noise will be present at the output of the demodulator. Now, what is this called as from here to here? From here to here, it is nothing but your channel. Whatever the channel you have transmitted, either using a coaxial cable or wireless channel, those channel can be represented as this model. This is only a model. Okay, the channel will not exactly look like this, but it's only an approximation of the channel, model of the channel. And this is your channel output. Okay, this is your channel output that I will write down here. Now what is this? This is your channel input. This is your channel input. Okay, and now what is this this part called? This is your channel output. Now where is your actual receiver present? My actual receiver is here. Demodulator is your actual receiver, no? So actual receiver is this one. Now channel output can also be called as what? Channel output can also be called as the receiver input. Channel output can also be called as receiver input. And now what is this point called? This is called as the receiver output. Okay, so this is the receiver input at this point, and this point is called receiver output. Now let us write down some of the SNR values which will be used for derivation of the next topic. Now what is the meaning of SNR input of the receiver? What is the SNR at the input of the receiver? You know that SNR is signal to noise ratio, and signal to noise ratio can be calculated at any point, either input or you can calculate at the output. Now if I want to calculate SNR at the input of the receiver, so this is your input of the receiver, right? This is your receiver actually. This part is your channel. So at the input of this receiver, if you want to calculate SNR, then what is the signal you have at the input of the receiver? X of t. X of t contains signal and noise. So SNR means what? It is the ratio of average signal power to the noise power at the input of the receiver. So what definition you can write here? You can write here as average signal power, average signal power of, what is the signal power at the receiver? S of t, no? So average signal power of S of t at receiver input divided by average noise power of, what is the noise present at the input of receiver? N of t. N of t again at receiver input. So what is that you can call? Receiver input can also be called as channel, right? So therefore, instead of calling this SNR input, I can also call it as SNR of the channel output. Okay, so instead of calling it as SNR I can also call it as SNR C. Both are same. See, this SNR input at the receiver is the same as SNR channel, or it can simply called as SNR C. Remember, SNR C and SNR I at the receiver is the same. Now what is the one more definition can we write? SNR output. SNR at the output of the receiver can be written as average signal power of, what is the signal present at the receiver side? At the receiver output side, the signal present is MD of t. So average signal power of MD of t at receiver output divided by average signal power. No, it is average noise power, no? SNR means numerator should be signal power, denominator should be noise power. So this should be noise power of, what is the noise present at the output of the receiver? ND of t. So you have to take the ND of t at same receiver output. Okay, so SNR at the output of the receiver can be given as SNR O. Can be given as SNR O. Okay. Now one more thing we need to understand, there is one more definition. The first definition you understood is SNR at the input side, SNR at the output side of the receiver. Now there is one more thing you have to understand. What if you divide SNR of the output of the receiver side divided by SNR at the input of the receiver side? Then that parameter is called as figure of merit, and short form we can call it as FOM, figure of merit, FOM. Okay, and we have seen from the previous understanding, if you take SNR input in the numerator and if you take SNR output in the denominator, what is that? SNR input divided by SNR output, then what is that called as? Noise factor F. Correct? No? But if you take SNR output in the numerator and SNR input in the denominator, then that is called as figure of merit. Okay? Figure of merit, FOM shortly called. It is nothing but measure of how much is your receiver capable of reducing the noise. Okay, it gives the noise performance of the receiver. What do you understand from the figure of merit? If the figure of merit for any receiver model is high, that means if figure of merit is high, that means the SNR output is high and SNR input is less. So input SNR is less and output SNR is more. That means your receiver is very good. If SNR at the output of the receiver is high, that means the receiver is good. So if the figure of merit is high, that means output SNR is more compared to input SNR. So therefore I can tell if the figure of merit is high, then your noise performance of the receiver is very good. Okay, the noise performance of the receiver is very good. That means your receiver removes the noise. That is the meaning. If the input SNR is small and output SNR is greater, that means the signal power has increased and the noise power has decreased. That means your receiver is capable of reducing the noise. Okay, so what is the meaning of figure of merit. Figure of merit, if it is higher, that means it is a good receiver. That means it is a good receiver. Always remember, figure of merit should be greater and noise figure should be lesser and SNR should be greater. So then you can tell that it is a good receiver. The receiver reduces noise. If the figure of merit is greater, that means the receiver reduces the noise, so therefore it is a good receiver. For any of the receiver, whatever you design, the figure of merit should be greater. Understood? Figure of merit should be greater. Now we will understand some basics about the SNR, then we will derive an equation for DSBSC. Now note, so assume that the first one, you want to calculate the signal power. How to find out the signal power? What is the formula to find signal power? And this signal power is a RMS power, root mean square power. So for that, the formula to find the RMS or average signal power, usually average signal power is nothing but RMS signal power, that is calculated by S square of T is equal to amplitude, whatever the amplitude you have, that amplitude divided by root 2 whole square you have to take. So amplitude divided by root 2 whole square. Remember this formula, we will use it in the next derivation. Now what is how to calculate the average noise power? How to calculate the average noise power, which is nothing but N square of T. Power is nothing but taking square on the signal. That's all. That is the power. So average noise power of N square. See, the noise power can be calculated by using this formula, power spectral density of noise, okay, into noise occupied bandwidth. Noise occupied bandwidth. This is the formula used to calculate your average noise power, power spectral density of the noise, multiply with the noise occupied bandwidth. So in your bandwidth, wherever noise is present, only that bandwidth you have to multiply with the power spectral density, that gives the average noise power. So now by using these two, let us derive what is the figure of merit for DSBSC. You can derive for anything. You can derive figure of merit for AM receivers and DSBSC receivers, SSBSC receivers, VSBSC receivers, and figure of merit for FM receivers. But instead of deriving all those derivations, we are taking only one receiver and then we are showing the derivation. And similarly, you can derive the figure of merit for any other derivation. So in your unit 4, only one receiver is present for the syllabus, and that is called as the concept. Next we are going to learn about is noise in DSBSC receiver. Noise present in DSBSC receiver. It's a very important topic. See, as I told you, can find out what is the noise present or what is the figure of merit of AM receivers or DSBSC, SSB, VSBSC or FM receivers. Out of all those derivations, we are in this video lecture we are showing one derivation to how to derive the expression for figure of merit for DSBSC receivers. Now let me write the block diagram of DSBSC receivers. So you have a DSBSC signal S of T coming here. So this is your DSBSC signal. To this DSBSC signal, noise is getting added, additive white Gaussian noise. What is the power spectral density of this noise? N0 divided by 2. We have derived that power spectral density, and then this is given to band pass filter. Okay, and the band pass filter bandwidth, how does the DSBSC wave look like? The DSBSC wave, it looks like in frequency domain like this. You have seen it from the first unit. Okay, and what is the bandwidth of this band pass filter or the DSBSC wave? The bandwidth is equal to 2W. Okay, let me take W as my bandwidth of the message signal. So the bandwidth of the DSBSC signal will be 2 into W. So if the bandwidth is taken as FM, then the DSBSC bandwidth will be 2 FM. Instead of FM, I am taking it as W. W is the bandwidth of M of T, then the DSBSC bandwidth will be 2 into W. Now this band pass filter is then given to product modulator. What is the DSBSC receiver? You should have a product modulator. You have studied in the DSBSC chapter. You should have product modulator. That product modulator output is then given to low pass filter. And then low pass filter output will be equal to Y of T. So this is your actual receiver of DSBSC. This is your actual receiver of DSBSC. And how the waveform will look like? The waveform after demodulating the DSBSC wave, it looks like a bandwidth signal. And what is the bandwidth of this now? The bandwidth on both the sides, if you count the bandwidth on both the sides, it is equal to 2 into W. Okay, and if you take the bandwidth only on the positive frequency side, then the bandwidth of the message signal will be W hertz. If you take it on both the sides, then it will be 2 into W hertz for the message signal. Now, so this is your only channel. This part is your channel model. Now where is your receiver input? So if this is your receiver, then this will be your input of the receiver. So I am calling this as receiver input, and I am calling this as receiver output. Receiver input and receiver output. Now let me call the output of the band pass filter as X of T, which is equal to S of T plus N of T. You know why I am writing it as N of T. X of T is equal to S of T plus N of T. Now output of the product modulator, let me call it as V of T. We don't know what is V of T. Let us find out later. Now let us start deriving the equation. So this is your receiver, okay, DSBSC receiver. Now for this DSBSC receiver, we are going to find what is the figure of merit, whether the figure of merit is high or whether the figure of merit is low. That we are going to find out. Now first let us write the equation of S of T for DSBSC. So what is the DSBSC equation for S of T modulated signal? It is nothing but M of T into C of T, which is equal to M of T into AC cos 2 pi FCT, and that can be written as S of T is equal to AC into M of T cos 2 pi FCT. Okay, so now we have to find out what? We have to find out SNR at the input of the receiver. SNR at the input of the receiver can also be called as SNR of the channel. So now see what is SNR. Is at the input of the receiver, signal is also there, noise is also there. Signal power divided by noise power. S square of T divided by N square of T. SNR formula. SNR at the input of the receiver is signal power S square of T divided by noise power. If you want to get the power, simply take the square root. Not the square root. If you want the power, then simply take square. So S square of T, N square of T, now we need to calculate. So now let us call this as equation number 1. So what is S square of T? I told you in the previous note how to calculate signal power. Amplitude divided by root 2 whole square. Now you see what is the amplitude of S of T. What is the amplitude of S of T here? So leaving this cos 2 pi FCT, what is the amplitude of S of T? AC into M of T. So I substitute that AC into M of T divided by root 2 whole square. And then that is going to give you AC square M square of T divided by 2. AC square M square of T by 2. Now let us call M square of T as PM. So what is PM? Pm stands for the power of the message signal. Okay, m square of t. Taking square on any signal is nothing but power. So I am taking m square. So m square can be written as the power of the message signal Pm. So let me write it Pm here. So therefore that is equal to AC square Pm divided by 2. So this is your S square of t. Now similarly let us find the noise power n square of t. How to find the noise power n square of t? You have to take the power spectral density multiplied by the bandwidth. So now what is power spectral density of the white noise? N0 by 2. It's present here, N0 by 2. This N0 by 2 should be multiplied by the bandwidth 2W. So this should be multiplied by 2 omega. So 2 get cancelled. So remaining will be N0 into omega. This is your noise power. So now let us substitute both the things in your equation 1. So equation 1 is what? SNR of channel, or you can also call it as SNR input of the receiver side, is given by, substitute S square of t, AC square Pm divided by 2 whole divided by N0 into W. That you can write it as AC square Pm divided by 2 N0 W. Okay, now call this as equation number 2, SNRC. Now similarly, in order to find figure of merit, I want to find SNR output also, no? So now SNR at the output of the receiver, how to find? It is equal to the signal power. What is the signal power present at the output? That we don't know. Okay, so call it as signal power at output divided by noise power at output. Okay, now we will see, we don't know what is the signal which is coming at the output of the DSBSC wave. So now we will derive what is the signal coming at the DSBSC wave. So what will be V of t equal to? V of t is the output of product modulator. That is nothing but what? X of t multiplied with what is product modulator? Let us go back to the previous diagram. See, the product modulator should be multiplied with the carrier signal, no? Because it is a coherent detection of DSBSC wave. How do you demodulate a DSBSC wave? You take a modulated signal, then you multiply that with a coherent carrier signal, that is then given to low pass filter, correct? No? So I forgot to write that coherent carrier signal for the product modulator. Product modulator means it should multiply two things. It will multiply X of t with what? That I have forgotten to write. So your product modulator will multiply with a local oscillator. So this local oscillator will be equal to cos 2 pi fct, local oscillator. And now you can tell V of t will be equal to X of t multiplied by cos 2 pi fct. So let us go to our derivation step now. So X of t will be equal to multiplying by, V of t will be equal to multiplying X of t by cos 2 pi fct. Now you simplify. X of t can be substituted as what? X of t can be substituted as S of t plus N of t into cos 2 pi fct. Now remember, we know that N of t is what? It is the output noise of band pass filter. It is the output noise of band pass filter. So I can call it as a narrow band noise. Narrow band noise. I told you in the previously, just 10 minutes back, that because the noise is previously, before sending it to the band pass filter, the noise is present for all the frequency. When you send it to the band pass filter will only transmit the noise which is coming in the bandwidth of the filter. So N of t can be called as output noise of the band pass filter. It is coming out of the band pass filter. And is it present? Is this noise present for all the frequencies? No, because this is a output of band pass filter. the band pass filter will reject other than its bandwidth. So this is a noise which is present only for a bandwidth of band pass filter. That means the noise will look like this. Okay, if this is the bandwidth of the band pass filter 2 omega, so your noise is present only in this duration. This is your N of t. That's why it is called as narrow band noise. Now we know that from our vestigial sideband modulation chapter, we can represent any narrow band signal can be represented using its in-phase component and quadrature phase component. We have seen that in our vestigial sideband modulation. So that we are using. If noise is a narrow band noise, any narrow band signal can be represented as in-phase component multiplied by cos 2 pi f ct and added with added or subtracted with the quadrature phase component of sin 2 pi f ct. So I can write, you should remember this. So you can write, we know that N of t can be written as Ni of t. Ni of t stands for in-phase component of the noise into cos 2 pi fct minus Nq of t into sin 2 pi fct. Okay, this equation you should remember. Any narrowband noise can be written as Ni of t stands for in-phase component into cos 2 pi fct. Nq of t stands for quadrature phase of the noise component. Now you substitute this N of t equation here. So now what happens? V of t is equal to S of t into cos 2 pi fct plus N of t, I will substitute Ni into cos 2 pi fct minus Nq of t into sin 2 pi fct multiplied by cos 2 pi fct. Okay, same cos 2 pi fct is kept here, N of t substituted here. Now I will substitute S of t value. So you are going to get it as V of t is equal to AC m of t into cos square 2 pi fct. When you substitute S of t, cos into cos becomes cos square. Now you multiply this cos 2 pi fct inside the noise. Ni of t into cos square 2 pi fct minus Nq of t into sin 2 pi fct into cos 2 pi fct. Now you use the formula AC m of t plus Ni of t, I can take common. What are left out? Cos square 2 pi fct minus Nq of t into sin theta into cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta divided by 2. So sin 2 theta 4 pi fct divided by 2. This is V of t. V of t means output of product modulator. Now V of t will be equal to AC m of t plus Ni of t whole divided by 2 cos square 2 pi fct is 1 plus cos 2 theta. Okay, cos 4 pi fct minus Nq of t divided by 2 into sin 4 pi fct. Now if you multiply, you will get AC m of t plus Ni of t whole divided by 2 into 1. Okay, next one more term, this into cos 4 pi fct. AC m of t plus Ni of t. Ni of t means noise component divided by 2 into cos 4 pi fct minus Nq of t divided by 2 into sin 4 pi fct. Now you are sending this V of t. Where you are sending this V of t in the block diagram, you are sending V of t as the input to the low pass filter. Low pass filter, what it will do, it will reject all the high frequency components and it will allow only the low frequency components. So which is the low frequency component here? This is your low frequency component, low frequency, and because this is multiplied by AC cos 4 pi fct and sin 4 pi fct, it is a high frequency component. Both this term and this term will be eliminated by your low pass filter. So this entire thing is your high frequency component. So now what happens to your low pass filter output? Low pass filter output is given by y of t. Y of t is equal to, only low frequencies you will get, AC m of t divided by 2 plus Ni of t divided by 2. Okay. Now y of t is what? It is the output of the low pass filter. Output of the low pass filter itself is nothing but the output of the receiver. I can show it here. Y of t itself is the output of the receiver. Now what does your y of t contains? So your y of t contains two components. One is message signal m of t and the other one is noise signal ni of t. So this is your signal, message signal, and this ni of t stands for noise component. Now calculate the signal power and the noise power. Let me do it in the next slide. So now you got is y of t is equal to m of t divided by 2. So you got y of t is equal to m of t. Is it m of t by 2? No, AC m of t by 2, I'm sorry. It's AC into m of t by 2. AC m of t by 2 plus you got Ni of t divided by 2. Now we need to find what is the noise present. Okay, power, I'm sorry. So power, this is your signal, no? Signal power. Okay, let me call this as PS. Signal power, we need to calculate. And this is your noise power, PN. So we need to calculate. So now what is signal power? PS is equal to, how to calculate the signal power? You should take the amplitude AC m of t divided by 2 whole divided by root 2 whole square. So which formula I am applying here? To calculate the signal power, the formula is take the amplitude. This entire thing is amplitude only, no? AC m of t by 2. So AC m of t by 2 amplitude divided by root 2 whole square. This is the formula. And that gives you AC square m square of t, okay, divided by 4 divided by 2. Now that gives you, if you take 4 to the denominator, AC square m square of t divided by 8. So I can write PS is equal to AC square. What you can call m square as? Power of the message signal. So you can call m square of t as PM. Previously we wrote the same. So m square of t can be written as PM divided by 8. Now find out noise power. So this is what this is, signal power, and I'm calculating noise power at output of the receiver. Remember, you are calculating at the output of receiver, So you are calculating noise power at the output of the receiver. So noise power, how you can calculate noise power? Power spectral density multiplied by the bandwidth. Now what is the bandwidth at the output of the receiver? See here, that output of the receiver, the bandwidth is 2 omega. If you consider both the sides, it is 2 omega. And the noise will be added both in the both the side bands. The noise will be added, no? So wherever the noise is occupied, the entire bandwidth you have to take. The noise is occupied for all the two side bands. So therefore you have to take the entire bandwidth 2 omega to calculate the noise power. So this 2 omega multiply with power spectral density N0 by 2. Okay, so now this substitute this value, power spectral density is N0 by 2, multiplying it to W. Bandwidth will give you again same thing. The noise power will be N naught W. Okay. Now I will substitute. What is SNR? Output receiver. At the output of the receiver, what is SNR? It's equal to PS divided by PN. Signal power. Signal power is what? AC square PM by 8. Noise power is N naught omega. So you will get AC square PM by 8 divided by N naught into omega. So if you simplify, you will get AC square PM divided by 8 N naught omega. And remember, it is not 8 N naught omega. Sorry, I should not substitute this as 8 N naught omega. Why? Because the noise power, whatever you have calculated, this noise power at the receiver is what? This noise power at the receiver is nothing but Ni square of T. Okay, what you have calculated is Ni square of T. Okay, I'll erase this part. SNR at the output side we will write down later. Okay, so now till now what you have calculated is Ni square of T. Ni square of T. But what is the signal you have in your output of the receiver? Output of the receiver Y of T contains Ni of T divided by 2. Divided by 2 is there. That 2 you should not leave. Okay, so now I will write down the total noise power at the output of the receiver. Okay, so this is not the total noise power at the output of the receiver. I have to divide it by 2 still. So now what is this? You have calculated P power spectral density into bandwidth. That is nothing but your N square of T. Okay, this N square of T I should write down. So till now what you have calculated is N square of T. Okay, so now I got to know N square I of T is nothing but N naught W. But what is that you have in the output? Instead of only Ni of T, divided by 2 is also there. So this divided by 2 is also very important for the amplitude. Now what is the noise power? You have to divide it by 2 whole square. So the total noise power is given by noise power at receiver output is given by Ni of T divided by 2 whole square. Ni of T divided by 2 whole square. Fine. So now that gives you Ni square of T. Now that gives you Ni square of T divided by 4. And that is going to be equal to N naught omega divided by 4. Okay, now what is the total noise power at the receiver output? Ni square of T by 2. You understood why Ni by 2 is taken? Because it contains Ni of T by 2. So for the entire thing you have to take whole square. So that's why I am taking for the entire thing whole square. Now you will get Ni square of T divided by 4. That gives you Ni square, you know, which is equal to N naught into W. That you write down N naught W divided by 4 you will get. Now that you substitute in the SNR output. We know that SNR output of the receiver is given by signal power by noise power at the output side. So you write down signal power AC square PM by 8. Okay. AC square PM by 8 divided by what is the noise power? N naught omega by 4. N naught omega by 4. Noise power is N naught omega by 4. Now that you substitute, so you will get SNR output is equal to AC square PM by 8 into 4 divided by N naught omega, and that is going to give you SNR out is equal to 4 ones are 4 twos are, so you will get AC square PM by 2 N naught omega. Equation 2. Now what was equation 1 we derived? There is equation 1, I think it is there in the next slide. So equation 1 is here. Oh, already equation 2 I have taken. For SNR input I have taken equation 2. AC square PM by 2 N naught omega. Now I have to take it as equation number 3. I have to take it as equation number 3. Okay. So now what you do, equation 3 divided by equation 2 you take. So that gives you what? SNR output divided by SNR input. What is SNR output divided by SNR input? That is called as figure of merit. In short, we can call it as FOM. FOM. That is given by what? AC square PM by 2 N naught W SNR output, and SNR input is also same, AC square PM by 2 N naught W. Both are same. So if you cancel, then you are going to get it as figure of merit for DSBSC receiver is 1. Figure of merit for DSBSC receiver is 1. Remember, okay, for DSBSC receiver the figure of merit is 1. 1 indicates what? If the figure of merit is 1, that means the numerator is equal to denominator. That means the SNR at the output side is equal to SNR at the input side of the receiver. That means whatever the input SNR you give, the same SNR will come at the output of the receiver. So SNR will not be either increased or SNR will not be either decreased also. The input SNR, if you give 30 dB, output SNR for the DSBSC receiver is also 30 dB. That means the SNR is not increased also, it is not decreased also. That means there is no noise added also, and there is no noise removed also by your DSBSC receiver. Whatever input is there, same thing you will get at the output of the DSBSC receiver. Noise is neither removed, and the noise is neither removed nor added into your signal. So DSBSC receiver is like neutral. It does not add noise also, and it does not remove noise also. Okay, so it is good. Figure of merit is 1, so it is good. If you do the same calculation derivation for figure of merit of AM receiver, then you are going to get the figure of merit as less than 1. For AM receiver, standard AM receiver, figure of merit you will get it as less than 1. Less than 1 means the SNR output is lesser than SNR input. That means what? Input SNR is lesser and output SNR, input SNR is greater and output SNR is lesser. If the figure of merit is less than 1 for your standard AM receiver, SNR output is lesser, SNR input is greater. That means your AM receiver is adding some noise into the system. Okay, your AM receiver is reducing the input SNR. Okay, so that means your AM receiver is not that much good compared to DSBSC receiver, because your AM receiver adds noise into the system, but your DSBSC receiver does not add any noise into the system, because you got figure of merit as 1. But for AM receiver, if you do, you will get figure of merit less than 1. That means SNR output is lesser than SNR input. That means your AM receiver is going to add some noise into the system. Remember, why the noise is getting added in AM receiver? Because you are using a envelope detector at the receiver of the AM wave. Okay, you know that envelope detector is a used component at the AM receiver, and envelope detector will not give you the perfect demodulated message wave. Correct? No, you will not get the perfect sine wave at the output of envelope detector. You will get like the capacitor charging, discharging, charging, discharging, because of the capacitor present in envelope detector. And because of that capacitor in envelope detector, your message signal is not smooth. It will be like charging, discharging. Okay, so because of this only the noise is added into the AM receiver. That's why the output SNR of AM receiver will be lesser than the input SNR of the AM receiver. Okay, so compared to AM receiver and compared to AM receiver and DSBSC receiver, which is best to demodulate the amplitude modulated signal, your DSBSC is best because it is not going to add any noise into the message or the demodulated signal. Noise will not be added in your DSBSC modulation or the receiver.